With that said, you hinted around to earlier. I'm more of a historical landmark, wanting to see all the different important sites in the city. You're more of a where's the great places to eat, and especially where's the great places to drink. If anybody ever goes to Chris's Instagram page, Instagram page. Speaking of which, what is your Instagram?
It's my full name, Christopher Francis, and that's Francis, and then the number's 6113 on Instagram.
Okay, so if you go to his page, I'm not even going to attempt to say it again because I get tongue-tied, but if you go to Chris's page, you'll see a bunch of pictures with drinks in his hand. Chris likes to drink. I'm really concerned on a trip that you're going to turn me into an alcoholic.
You can't then turn someone into something that's already, that's like saying, we're going to teach Michael Jordan how to play basketball. I mean, it's like already done, the thing is, as much drink pictures as I post, as much as I love my craft cocktails or even a draft beer, I haven't really been that. I think I was intoxicated maybe really badly once in France because I remember something that happened that I didn't remember the next. I had a dispute with the Uber driver that was trying to rip me off and put me in a different part of town. I kind of forgot that had happened, and I was screaming at him in a French accent. But he deserved it because he was trying to rip me off.
So, how do you think that will affect us on our trip? Because, I may want to visit this church, or I may want to visit this government building, and you may want to go get you Sex on the Riviera or something.
Well, that sounds like a good drink. And again, this is something I thought about before I accepted your offer, was like, you know what, he is more, because you packed so much into looking at your pictures. One day, one trip, my child that went off to college, it's like I have a 4-year degree, and you came back with a master's or whatever. What's higher than a master's? I don't know. Performed a surgery. I don't know, something like a doctor and a lawyer came back. So I said, you know what? I love my food and drink, but it's going to be fun and keep me on my toes to have, because it's certainly not like I don't like seeing landmarks and the type of stuff that you're more passionate about. But being forced to do that is going to be fun, and it'll put more things on my list of what I've seen. So there's always time to eat and drink after you see the Leaning Tower Pizza or whatever the case may be.
Okay, we'll see if you can keep up. I don't believe you're going to be able to keep up with me, but we will see. All right, so I wasn't going to keep the places that we're visiting secret. However, we're visiting about anywhere between 10 to 13 different places. So with that said, we can reveal some of them. Out of all the places that we're going, what would you say are the top 3 in your opinion? Okay. Or that you're most looking forward to going to?
All right, let me do them in order of least top 3 to most, but I'm looking forward to all.
Least to most.
Barcelona, Spain.
Okay.
And that's simply because I've had so many people tell me, just because I'm a part-time Lyft driver, as well as other people I met out in public talking about travel, that have just raved and raved about Barcelona. You would think they work for the tourism board, but and my stepmother, for example, is 100% Italian. She and my dad went to Italy on an extensive tour of Italy, and they both Italy was great. We liked Italy, but Spain was even better. So when you have somebody who's 100% Italian telling you to go to Spain before you go to Italy, that should tell you something. And yes, they are known for beautiful architecture, and that it is a Mediterranean-y, because I didn't really know until recently Spain and Barcelona was kind of part of the Mediterranean, like palm trees and whatnot, and has that influence. And who doesn't like that kind of atmosphere? So, and yes, the food I've heard there is fantastic. And then number 2 would be the Greek islands, Santorini in particular, because, if it looks even a third of good in person, as it does on the YouTube videos we've watched of people there, it's made very well. So far, the most beautiful sight I've seen with my own 2 eyes is driving from San Francisco to Los Angeles along the coast. Just stunning. And this looks like it's going to make that look second rate. So, and again, just heard the food and the drink and the people and the architecture is beautiful. So that would be number 2. And number 1 is Venice, Italy. No, I don't know why I always laugh like that's so funny.
No, I'm laughing because you had to give it a little extra.
Number 1 is Venice, Italy, because for whatever reason, and this is gonna sound goofy, but I own my goofiness. I've just had this envisionment that I had to go to Venice. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I was a gondolier in a past life. Maybe, what else do they do there? A glass blower in a past life. You know, they think.
So when you say glass blower, is that like a crack pipe that you want?
No, I don't do. I do. If I do that shit, I'll be skinny. Now you know what? No, Venice is famous for blown glass, which I don't. I'm not really feel the need to see that. That's okay. Some guy blowing into tube making glass, but I just feel this. And I've always loved Italian food, Italian accents, Italian culture, and of all those various cities in Italy, Venice was the one. I just felt this like. I mean, canals are beautiful. The colors are beautiful, even in just pictures on the internet. So, yeah, Venice.
I'll say for me, my top three, doing the same as you did in order. I'd say number 3 would be Dublin, Ireland.
I forgot about that one. We just added it on.
Yeah, I definitely would say Dublin, Ireland. Okay, anyway. Dublin, Ireland, basically because, I mean, it'll break up some of what we're doing. But then also, like, just seeing how crazy these people get during St. Patrick's Day and Irish, like, it'll be really cool to, like, party with them and drink, see, like, the Guinness Storehouse, go to the little whiskey place. Also, I want to be able to see, like, the Cliffs of Moher and go to the Dublin University, be able to see, like, the Book of Kells and all that. I don't know if you...
Book of who?
What? The Book of Kells. Kells, Kells, I believe.
Kells. Oh, okay. I should know that. Maybe if I'm Irish.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I would say number 2 is Lisbon, Portugal. Just basically because like that wasn't really high on my list at first. I mean, we were just going there because it was a free stopover, layover, for 2 extra days. And like as I research it more and more, I'm really looking forward to it to see. Then also going to a castle and trying those little pastry things, Pink Street, little different bars. I'm really excited about that. And number 1 with you, as you also said, would be Santorini. Just, I mean, it's like, God, it's like being in a fairy tale or something. Being able to take the donkeys up the steps and being able to go to the volcano and all of that other stuff. Like, I think we're gonna have a great time there.
No, I mean, I don't recall anyone making a video about how much Santorini sucks or how miserable they were there. There were people complaining about Venice, certain aspects of Venice. There were people complaining about certain things in Barcelona. Did you see anybody complaining about, say, any of the Greek islands? Other than the airport line, but whatever. That's just a part of the deal. So.
All right, so what would you say that you prefer, to travel alone or to travel with someone? You've done both. I've done both, but only in the U.S. I never traveled overseas with anybody. So basically, based on international travel, what would you say your preference is?
I mean, the international travel I did with a friend. I met my friend who lives in Hawaii, in India, and we were together for 3 weeks. I'm gonna say, I want to say myself, so I inspired people to go by themselves. But it was really awesome to have the experience to share with somebody. I mean, that same young lady and I still joke. She'll call and go, "I need the money," because that's what one of our cab drivers in India said. You have all these inside jokes and things you share, and or she called me one day. She's like, "Honey, this place smells worse than that harbor did in St. Mary's, India." And believe me, that harbor smelled like it smelled like 1,000 tons of dead fish, flaming garbage, and vomit all in one. So, not to be disgusting, but it did. If you ever take the boat from this part of India in Manipal to St. Mary's remote island, which is beautiful and stunning, you take a fishing boat out there, just be known when you're in the harbor waiting on the boat, give me a gas mask.
I can say that when you're going by yourself, definitely you want to have somebody to compare notes with. Almost like if you're in the club, when you're in the club, sometimes you'll be talking shit on somebody or whatever, or they're talking about your restaurant, so you're like, So same thing, like there's been times I've been overseas and they were over there speaking another language. I knew they were talking shit, you know what I'm saying? And I wish I had somebody else that I could confer with too, just as well, and start talking bad about them. Another aspect is, I love to take a bunch of pictures, and I hate having to use a selfie stick all the time or set up the little tripod from a distance away, Because, there's so many people that like to steal. You can have your tripod set up and somebody goes,
National Lagoons European Vacation. Did you get someone the camera? Did you ever see that? They get someone, the family gets someone to take the camera and to take the picture and they run off with it.
Exactly.
So, but no, I will either be very, very good friends and, I've really bonded, or we will come back hating each other. It's going to be...
Yeah, that's what I'd be worried about. I mean, it's the same reason, like, sometimes people ask if they can, sometimes I've even considered, like, renting a room out. But it's just that, like, I hate the idea of the possibility of ruining friendships with friends or family, because being cool with somebody out on the streets is something entirely different than being, like, cooped up in a small surrounding, almost like a jail cell on a regular basis. Think about even at work, like, you have to go to work, but there's people at work that you hate sometimes, and you just have to put up with them, unfortunately. So that'd be my worst fear too, because after the 4th day of us being on the trip together, I might want to kill you. I might take a pillow and smother you to death. But
you cut that out, that giggle. But no, and again, all jokes aside, I thought about very long and hard, because we spent a year and a half, 3 days a week next to each other. So I feel like I know him well enough that I can say yes, and he's not going to get on my nerves too much.
And we're gonna have to. I completely forgot what I was about to say. So anyway, with that, last question for you is: what is the most racist thing that's happened to you on your trip? And the reason I ask this is because a lot of times, especially, it's a lot different for me too, being African American versus you being a white big bird. But no, but seriously, like, sometimes I have to try to figure out, am I being discriminated against because I'm black or because I'm American, or is it a combination of both? And I've experienced it a couple times, and it hasn't been fun.
I don't feel, obviously I didn't get skin color discrimination. And I did not get you're a dumb American, because everyone said that would happen in Paris if they don't like Americans. I think that rumor about them being snobby may be true at some points, but that's if you're like weighing 300 pounds, wearing tacky shorts and a fanny pack and being loud. I actually had people coming up to me asking for directions in French, so I guess I did all right. But as far as, and this was even funny still, in India, some of the places we went in the more remote parts, literally there were Indians and laughing and pointing literally like I was a monkey in the zoo. And even then, I was like, okay, you've never seen a white person here. And my friend had warned me that was going to happen because she had been there before. She's like, they will take pictures with you without your permission. But actually, so I don't even know if I consider that racist. I consider them just not knowing how to be discreet and literally seeing a white person in person for the first time. I didn't get any things like you're an American, we don't like Americans. Most people were really lovely and happy to have you there and leave you with a good impression of your country.
I know for me, like, a couple different airports that I stopped at, I always seemed to be getting singled out, which was kind of questionable to me, especially when I was in Israel. Like, they pulled me out of line at the airport. When I was at the bus station in Jerusalem, they pulled me aside, and I'm like, why do I keep getting pulled aside? I'm like, you think I'm going to blow something up? I don't understand. And then the other thing was when I was in Rome, I was already to a couple different countries, and I needed to get a haircut, and my beard shaved, because obviously, So I went to this barbershop, and I could tell from the vibe as soon as I went to the barbershop that they were looking at me. And I knew it was because of my skin tone. I sat down in the one seat, they had something sitting in the seat next to it, they moved it, then they kept looking at me and they were looking at each other, and then nobody's dumb. You can kind of tell when somebody's talking about you in their little language and stuff. So I sit in the chair, and the whole entire time they're talking, and they were just cracking up. I knew they were talking about me, but I couldn't prove it. So after I paid and left, I walked to the side of the building, and I just stood there and I waited. All of a sudden, you can hear them howling, cracking up hysterically. So at that point, I turned around, I just stood at the front door, and I just looked at them like this. And then one of them finally said, "Man, I just wanted them to know, even though I don't know what you're saying, I know what you were doing." And I was like, that just kind of sucks, because you come here to have fun, have a good time, you're spending money, and then you still have to face the harsh reality of racism, in spite of.
I've been out with you at service places where you get waited on, like a restaurant or a bar or whatever, and you're certainly a very polite whatever customer.
Exactly.
So there's really if you were an asshole or overbearing, I would maybe see why that might be something to do with it, but no, I can personally vouch for your nice demeanor as a patron of an establishment. So
And then also, like, look at this. We're like the Jesse Jackson Rainbow Coalition here and everything. Like, we get Itchy and Scratchy or
Crockett and Tubbs,
Whitey and Blackie or
Phil Collins, and what was that black man's name? Phil Collins, Philip Bailey, Easy Lover from the 80s. You were alive then. You should know that song. Anyway, so yeah, and that's just another thing is a reason why I'm glad to travel with you is we're the same in some ways that we bond over and funny conversations we have and attitudes we have about life, but at the same time we're different enough that it'll be a fun contrast, and I might want to go somewhere and do something you would never think of to do, and vice versa with you. So I think it's good to have someone to play off of, and we'll, different chemistry or whatever options that come up as a result of traveling. So.
Well, we're going to have to make this into 2 separate episodes. This went way longer than ever would have expected. But, I mean, it just goes to show we were able to, conversate and everything.
Talking about something we're passionate about, yeah.
Exactly. Also, at this time, I want to mention we did have a contest a couple weeks ago for someone who could name one of the cities that we're going to. And that winner was Charles Brown. We will have him on a future episode. Basically, he had the option to either get $100 cash, a Visa gift card, a voucher for a future international flight, or to get a passport. And he's elected for us to help him get his passport.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that part.
Because I talked to him, at first he was saying a voucher, and it was like, well, you can't even go anywhere without having a passport, so maybe you should take care of that first. So we're going to help him get his passport, and then after that, we'll work with him to try to plan his first trip. Because I know that can be something scary and intimidating. He actually already has a place in mind, so like I said, we'll have him on a future episode. We'll leave that for
that's probably best. I'm sorry, I'm so excited for him. I'm really happy. I was happy for him to win money, but I'm really excited he's getting a passport.
I'll tell you once we cut this out. With that said, I want to thank you once again for watching another episode of Ken's Travels. And once again, we want to thank our host, Chris Francis. And until the next time, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just don't be afraid. Don't listen to haters or naysayers or people who tell you you're going to be a victim of a terrorist or human trafficking. No, I even had a 21-year-old that I'm friends with. I told him where we were going. He's, please be careful. Please. I'm like, first of all, I'm not even going somewhere known for being like scary. It's just, but yet they're worried I'm going to get, or even my father, who's really smart and like a businessman. He was like, well, you're being careful over there. All kinds of things happen overseas. But I mean, don't let those things stop you. Follow your dream, because your life will always be better because of it.
And I would also say do that as well. People warned me about going both to Israel and Germany. They were worried about me. I don't worry about stuff happening to me. I just do it. I think when you have that type of attitude, you're more likely to have the universe have things to affect you in that manner. But don't worry about that. And the thing is, when you're 60, 70, 81, however old one day, and you're sitting in a hospital bed with stage 4 cancer, I'm sorry not to turn this grim or anything, like, you want to be able to sit in that hospital bed, you want to be able to reflect on your life, and you want to be happy about the things that you accomplished, or more importantly, especially as you get older, the experiences that you had. And traveling is one of those experiences, going back to school to get a degree, etc. Maybe 20 years from now, you could look back and think about, oh, I had some great passengers in that Lyft ride, or that Uber. I mean, I don't know, but like, just go out and have fun. Stop taking everything so serious and stop taking life so serious.
And that's really what you said when you're 70 years old or whatever in a hospital bed. My grandfather lived to be 92. When he was literally on his deathbed, he was being very dramatic. He's like, oh, tonight's the night, I'm gonna go. You better say goodbye. And he woke up the next morning, he's still alive, and he goes, last night I went to sleep thinking, because I want to have my last thought be a happy one, so I thought at that time I was in Switzerland, and I had those St. Bernard dogs with the whiskey around, I guess I got that from him, with the whiskey around their neck in the snow, and it was just like, the fact that he could even, that was something he was able to think about as his potential last thought. Luckily it wasn't, but, it just summed up what you just said.
Or even, getting married, having kids, whatever it is, just do something. Don't just sit on the porch all day and wait and let life pass you by. All right, so again, that's another episode of Ken's Travels. Like, subscribe, and until the next time, peace.